So I've listened in the last probably week, less than week, last 3 or 4 days. I've listened to 3 different, live streams. They were all live streams. Um, and between 3 different groups of prophetic people. Okay. One was a live stream just that just was yesterday, I think. Cindy Jacobs and a whole bunch of other people, Bill Hammond, all that group. They went live, the Apostolic Council of Prophetic Elders or something. I don't know, And then I watched it was Emma Stark and her group.
Okay.
They went live this was a couple days ago. A friend of mine sent it to me and asked me what I thought about it. And Emma's connected with Cindy Jacobs, who was on there.
Right.
Emma,
they're kind of in the same.
They're kind of in the same. Yeah.
The same tribe, sort of.
Yeah. And then a couple of Canadian guys.
They're a bad tribe. It's just they're in the same tribe.
Yeah, they're in the same tribe. Yeah, the Sharon Stone was on the Cindy Jacobs one, and Emma says that's her spiritual mom, and so they're all connected, right? And then there was a Canadian duo going going and talking about some prophetic things. And I was listening to, and this is just something that drives me absolutely bonkers. Okay.
Never heard that before.
Yeah. All 3 of them prophets, right? Quote unquote prophets. Okay. I don't like that terminology. That's what.
So you're not demeaning them. You're just saying.
I'm not demeaning them. I'm not demeaning them. That's their language.
Right.
I don't tend to use that language. Prophetic people.
So just
and this is a John Paul. John Paul. You really, for those of you who know, my background was being trained with Streams Ministries. John Paul Jackson. I ran the Canadian branch of John Paul's ministry for a long time, and so John Paul was always very adverse to those kind of titles, right? Anyway, he would never self-title him. People called him a prophet, but he would never call himself a prophet. So I'm just always hesitant. Anyway, so all these prophets, right? And you've got Emma saying one thing that's totally contradictory to what the Cindy group is saying. That's totally contradictory to what the Canadian group is saying. Okay. Now, I really liked what Emma had to say, actually. She was talking about how the Lord's been showing her that the prophets need to go into the caves to be burnt by the fire and stop prophesying political things and that kind of stuff. Right? I would like that, right? It was really good. Like it was just a call for the prophetic people to go into that place of great intimacy to be exactly to. And the political spirit has infiltrated prophetic ministry, and we need to do it, right?
Yeah.
So then Cindy has a word about it's political word. It's about all the things that are going to happen in Israel, Ukraine, and Russia, and it's all the stuff, right? And I was like, well, I had already listened to Emma's thing, and I was like, well, seems to be the kind of stuff that Emma's describing. And so these are connected prophetic groups.
Saying different things
that contradict each other. And then the Canadian one was, God's releasing mantles and their next great revivals around the corner.
I've never heard that before.
So it was retreat into the cave, stop talking, and let yourself be formed by the fire of intimacy, remove the political spirit from prophecy. It was, these are all the political things that are going to happen. And then it was the great revival, all the political things, everything's going to get bad. And then it was the great revival and God's releasing mantles. And I was like, how in the world is someone supposed to navigate this stuff today?
Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah.
Right. And these are all within a 48-hour period of each other. Wow. And all of them are connected on some level. They're connected. Right. They are connected. One of the group in Canada that was going live had just had Cindy at one of their national prophetic gatherings. And she released a prophetic word about Canada there. And they were talking about it. So I'm just like, what is a person supposed to do today when you've got all these competing voices and conflicting voices? How do you navigate these things? So what would you say to that, Dad? He didn't know that I was going to say that.
Well, I would say that, just using like a farming vernacular.
And here, just looking at this comment.
Yeah.
I get it. Totally get it, Maggie. Totally get it.
I would say there's a lot of horse pucky out there. And
yeah,
you have to wade through some of it to to find what really makes sense, the things that will grow. And I that's what I kind of see in anybody can say anything.
Yeah.
And they often do.
Yeah.
But it's what there's reasons that the prophetic writers in the Hebrew scriptures are included in the whole vernacular. It's not that there weren't other prophetic people running around and probably writing things.
There were other ones. Yeah, there definitely were.
And but they didn't make it in to their canon because you look back 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, and you look back at what this person was saying and declaring, and you look at it and say, well, now that person had validity.
Yeah.
There was something real about that. This person, all they were talking about was going on at the time, and they never really got anywhere. But
right,
you look at things that have substance and depth, and are calling you into an encounter with the one.
Yeah,
and that's the middle group you were talking about. That's what they were saying.
Yeah,
the one that says go into the cave.
Yeah.
Get refined, get connected,
Yeah.
find the one who speaks to you and stay with that.
Well, that's what made sense, right? That was
because in 100 years, so let's just say that the earth doesn't end, because so people are thinking everything's coming to a climax, and because of particular doctrinal expectations within certain camps of Christianity.
Yeah.
There is this anticipation that everything's coming to a climax.
Yeah, that's it. It's the technical term is that because of eschatological beliefs.
Yes.
Yes.
I was just trying to make it easier to
doctrinal beliefs about end times.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And then you have a whole nother segment, a much larger segment of the Christian community that does not accept those basic tenets. Much of that is centered in primarily North America, with some exponents outside of those circles. But the majority would never say to you that it's about ready to come to a conclusion. Everything's coming to an end.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you hear a voice that says it's all coming to an end, you have to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that's right.
When you hear someone calling you into a deepening relationship with the one who has transformed you, then that's a voice I want to listen to.
Yeah.
Because and I want to hear. See, I think that the prophetic voices of today that call us into intimacy and that term is overused, but I'm using it. But that call us into that connection, that deep connection with the Father.
Right.
Those are the ones I have to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to highlight what Maggie said. Not that I don't believe God speaks, because I do, but I try to lean on the word. And if the word is in the word of
Right.
God,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Bible, right? If other words line up with it, or if I know or what I know of God's character, then okay. But otherwise, yeah, exactly, Maggie. I think that's all that we ask when it comes to weighing and discerning through prophetic ministry. And this is what my dad's saying. If the word lines up with someone's particular beliefs about eschatology being end times, and this is what the lens is seen through, whether it's revival towards end times or whether it's calamity towards end times, then we just kind of okay. But if a word's calling me back to a place of intimacy with the Father, knowing his heart, all that, then I'm going to give it more credence. And that doesn't mean I agree with everything that the person says when it comes to their opinion or their teaching, but I'm going to listen to that
Right.
and give that a little bit more weight.